Hello and welcome to Chronicles of Tao by Deng Ming Dao, the Taoist master and author. This amazing book, I'm on my fourth reading, but the fourth reading is not reading it linearly, all of it, but the bits, the paragraphs, and in the chapters that I've underlined because they contain special wisdom. So, this one's about Wudangshan, or the martial arts of this region. In his early teens, Sai Hun began travelling extensively to learn from martial artists. These men have something unique, said his master. They are master fighters, but they are dying without anyone else reaching their stature. You must study with them now. Boxing will improve both your spirituality and fighting. The influence of both the Grand Master and Guan Jiuyin, men famous and highly respected in the martial world, enabled Sai Hun to study with many great teachers. Martial arts excited him passionately, almost becoming more important than Taoism. God forbid. And he often entered provincial tournaments. Blah 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 blah. Wudangshan was the sacred mountain of the pole star sect of Taoism. Internal alchemy, combined with martial arts, was its speciality. For centuries, great boxers and spiritual men had emerged from its 72 peaks, including Zhang Sanfeng, the 14th century creator of Tai Chi Chuan, and Bai Mei, the nemesis of Shaolin. Wudang styles were supremely effective, and Sai Hun learned from four main teachers. The four masters were not priests, but fighters who had taken refuge on Wudangshan. Seeking spiritual redemption, they came to the mountain to learn Taoism in repentance for their years of killing in the martial world. So they were like samurai warriors or ninja from Japan who wanted to repent for their killing and the karma that generated, because every time you tap on dark Tao, you are going that little further to the dark side, you know. A little further to the left hand side. So, anyway, so they came to the mountain for spiritual redemption and for repentance for the years of killing in the martial world. In return for the mercy of the Taoist priests, the Iron, Luhan, Crane, Monkey and Snake masters taught their arts to the students. Now that sounds a bit more exciting than being a lawyer or even a celebrity or a powerful man in society, a politician, a leader. Being the Snake Master, you know, you can be one of those people. So, the Iron Luhan Master was in his 40s and was a competent and accomplished boxer. A member of the Shaolin tradition, he had enormous muscles and an idealistic temperament. Wanting very much to identify with the image of a heroic knight, he was a paragon of chivalry and always championed the causes of the weak. Many martial artists looked down on him, for they were interested only in the practice of killing, and were not idealistic, weak, or compassionate. But the Iron Luhan Master maintained his principles and sought to teach his students heroic aspiration, as well as his boxing system. The Iron Luhan system consisted of several styles spring leg style, long fist, iron wire fist, and the 18th Lu Han fist emphasized muscular strength. The master taught that all the body should be tough and hard as iron, and that the most critical part of training was the forearms. Unless the forearms or bridge hands were toughened, blocks were ineffective. Very important, because your opponent might be much stronger than you are, and if you can effectively block him, which I did one time as a kid, this guy was much bigger than me, and he threw a punch, and I blocked him. And I only had a basic knowledge of martial arts at the time from a few classes and what I'd picked up in movies. So, but blocks are effective. The emphasis is on the forearm. The forearm has to be full of chi. So, the master taught that all the body should be as tough and hard as iron, and that the most critical part of training was the forearms. Unless the forearms or bridge hands were toughened, blocks were ineffective, grappling was weak, and punches lacked power. So if your forearms are weak, your punches lack power. You can snap it out, or you can use muscle, which is ineffective to use muscle for martial arts punches or kung fu. Training the bridge hands was excruciating. Like Shaolin training, if you've ever seen the 36 Chambers of Shaolin, it's a very artistic movie, and it shows you the brutal training methods of the Shaolin warriors, and the magic that they used as well, because they knew about sorcery. And sorcery is one of the highest schools of Taoism, along with other high mastery schools like the Lost Track School, which I've talked about before. So, with his hands straight up the side, Sai-Hun lay on two chairs that supported only his head and heels, as progressively heavier sandbags were added to his wrists. Then he had to whip through exercises with extensive jumping, stretching, springing, crisp blocks, and power punches. Only with this grueling daily training did the Iron Lu Han master feel the students could achieve the proper degree of hard strength. It's like a Jedi in training that's, it's taking things to the extreme, to the ultimate, secluding the student away from worldly distractions, sex, money, fame, and all that. The crane master was a thin man in his 50s. His long face and pointed chin framed two inquisitive eyes, with irises so large that almost no white showed. He had thin black hair braided into a queue, his arms were like stalks, and he walked like a crane in a long-legged, toed-out, syncopated gait. The white crane style made extensive use of chi and posture. Balance and energy circulation were essential. In contrast to the Iron Lu Han master's emphasis on muscular strength, the crane master urged his students to inflate their limbs with chi to achieve the same effect. If that were done, he said, one need rely only on posture to win a fight. This is very true as well, especially when practicing Wing Chun, which is a Chinese Kung Fu style. It's the most popular Chinese Kung Fu style. It was introduced by Yip Man, but it's been around since it was invented in the 16th century by a nun called Beautiful Springtime, who had such amazing martial arts skills that she could defeat many opponents larger than her. So posture was a big thing in it. If you had the right posture, you were basically unshakable and unbeatable, trusted in that core power. that energy source, core. The master personally proved his point in endless sparring sessions. Sai Hun, confident in his Lu Han training, went forward, but to his frustration he was unable to strike the master, who never blocked but only evaded in a succession of beautiful bird-like poses. Sometimes he looked like a flying crane, and at other times he eluded Sai Hun with one-legged postures. The crane is a bird, lectured the master. Birds are proud and arrogant. They strike poses. They show off. This is a characteristic of the style. Your opponent attacks, but you are interested only in maintaining your best profile. Let him attack. You need only move into your posture. Very significant. You can remember this. Have a posture. I've developed a posture, and I'm going to be demonstrating those postures for anybody that wants to learn them, which are effective against psychic enemies, and some postures which are also effective against being attacked physically. There are things you can do. You can empower yourself, no matter what size you are. Using the example of the Buddhist nun who overcame larger opponents. All things are possible in the martial world. But we must lose our self-importance and learn from the animal kingdom, who've developed their own unique ways of surviving in a very predatory world. Because that's what the universe is. We're living in a universe of predation. Predatory world. You look around you, everything's surviving by killing something else, eating it. We're the only beings that we know of that don't have to live so primitively, that we have a chance to develop beyond that, thrive beyond that, but become distracted by all this craziness, war mentality, profit mentality, and we've forgotten about our connection to the earth, the spirit, the essence of things. You see, to feel that essence, to know that you are that essence beyond anything. It endures through it. It endures through all. It burns through all. It's a Tao, the spirit, the power. So if his arms get caught in your wing, if your beak strikes him, it is from your posture, not from a premeditated effort. The crane master soon showed his devastating attacks. Actually, I'm going a bit beyond what I've written down because there's some new information coming through here. He favoured the crane fist, a beak-like formation of the thumb and fingertips pointed together. The strike was sophisticated. All the force was directed onto a small area, increasing its impact. The attacks came from unexpected angles in a battery of bewildering hooks and zigzag strikes. Zigzag strikes. The crane master could abruptly change directions and always succeeded in penetrating Sai Hun's defences to peck at eyes, ears, throat or pressure points. The monkey master was a clown. Seldom serious, he laughed and chattered constantly. Cheeky imp. Living in a mud-walled hut set in a tiny sun-dappled grove, he looked really like a lone ape. He had short stubby legs, grotesquely long dangling arms, and a pleasantly round face that seemed all the larger for the closely cropped hair. He loved to joke with his students and did dozens of flips and monkey imitations to entertain them. Sounds like Don Gennaro in Johnny Textland. The monkey style employed acrobatics, qigong, a loose body, concentrated mind, and external strength. Flexibility was paramount, and the monkey master felt that relaxation was imperative, not only to the physical and mental states necessary for monkey boxing, but for spirituality as well. He explained by using monkeys as an example. Just in case you think that we've got nothing to learn from these old fellows, our ancestors. Think again. Look at all you Taoist boys, he giggled. Someday you'll grow up to be priests with long lives of meditation. The monkeys have you beaten. They know meditation already. If you look quietly in the forests, you can come across a monkey sitting by a stream just staring. He's not moving. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting. He's in complete stillness. Just think. He didn't need a Taoist to teach him. Or you might look up and see a monkey perched on a high treetop, completely lost in himself. He might be 100 feet off the ground, but he won't fall because he has complete one-pointed concentration. Complete one-pointed concentration. Laser sharp awareness. He has to. Life's difficult and challenging. Just look at you fellows. Why, you can hardly stand properly. It's going back a little while, you know. The monkey's totally relaxed. He is unafraid because he knows his intelligence makes him superior. The monkey knows strategy, instinctively comprehending the saying, I move after the enemy but arrive before him. Attack a monkey, he'll roll away, take a watchful posture. He'll stay there for hours or days. Until your next move. Patient, strategist, ninja, stealthy warrior, chess player. You can't catch him off guard. The instant you move, he'll respond more quickly than you anticipate. Strikes in the monkey style were unique and varied, including double knuckle punches, bite-like pinches, slaps, arcing fingers that caught eyes, nostrils or lips on devious overhead raps. Sai Hung also learned the unusual monkey stances, bow-legged, off-centre walks and jumps because, as his teacher said, a monkey cannot stand straight up, so he is always moving. Paradoxically, he was sitting in meditation before, but when he has to come out of meditation, he has to move all the time, right? You must use this mobility in your fighting. You must have that fluidity. And that's a metaphor for life as well, because we have to be fluid, adapt to changing circumstances, and see how well we endure and thrive under those adverse circumstances, because we're not going down without a fight. That's the spirit of a warrior, a Taoist warrior. Sparring with the monkey master was both hilarious and terrifying. In the beginning of each match, he jumped absurdly around, mockingly allowing Sai Hung to strike him. He had the singular ability to take strikes anywhere on the body, including his kettle-like head. Sai Hung punched with abandon, and all the time the master bobbed ridiculously. Once the master decided to hit back, however, Sai Hung knew true terror, and invariably ran away. But the teacher pursued him relentlessly, pounced on him with a monkey leap, showing Sai Hung that only the master was impervious to pain. So I'm going to leave it there at the 20-minute mark because I know that you lot can only tolerate little snippets of this. The time and effort I put into this, you see. Thank you. Speak to you next time.